Finished your play?
I finished it, Mark. I told her I would.
Come on, buy you a drink.
No, thanks. There's one more thing to do for the play and for Anita. The dedication. I'd feel better if I wrote the dedication tonight.
All right, Nick. I'll be back in a while.
I dedicate this play to Anita Farrell. Because 3 months ago, when it all started, I never believed that this could happen. That the play I had talked about writing, as so many newspaper men do, actually would get written. And that I would have the good luck to work on it with so beautiful and brilliant a star as Anita. 3 months ago, a night when I was sitting at the same desk, knocking out a routine story. Boy!
Thanks, Polly.
Well, is this the play that's going to set the newspaper business ahead 50 years?
It's not a play, it's an idea for one, an exercise, homework. Forget it.
When do I get to see the finished product?
You know what Vladimir told me?
Who's Vladimir?
He's the guy that teaches my playwriting class. He said I'll never write this play. According to him, until I become a successful playwright, I should earn a living by washing dishes. Because I earn it by writing, my soul isn't hungry. You know what he means?
Sure. He means you get your kicks by having your byline on everybody's breakfast table, so you don't need your kicks.
Stay room. Mr. Tanner's on too.
Maybe he's right.
He is right. Until proven wrong. Hey, Nick, come here.
Yes, well, thanks very much for calling. I'll take care of it.
You remember the guy who stole somebody's credit card and ran up $1 million tab on it? Well, we've got something even better. This guy used a reporter's press card to get into a very private hospital room and interview a very important actress.
Yeah?
It was your press card. Lexington Hospital. They're holding the imposter in hopes it'll be cleared up before some newspaper does an expose of it.
She didn't mind my getting in under false pretenses. And don't think I didn't admit right off that I wasn't Nick Alexander. My mother always taught me that. First thing, tell truth. Well, so why create an enormous scene?
I'm not creating anything. He is.
I hope you're throwing me out and raising this brouhaha hasn't upset Miss Farrell too greatly.
I called the bulletin. They're sending the reporter right over.
I told her not to see any reporters, so she sees a phony. I know who this kid is. He can worm his way into more places and get to more people than I can. And I'm chief backer in 10 out of the 20 shows that are running this minute on Broadway.
Mr. Alexander?
Yeah. Get your wallet back, Nick. Let's go. I've got a lot to tell you.
Huh?
Tonight in Vladimir's class, you dropped your wallet. I found it. I was going to send it to you, and then I got this inspired notion.
Well, that's fine. We can forget all this, Mr. Hamilton, and these young men can settle their friendly misunderstanding themselves.
I never saw this guy before in my life.
Frederick Brennan, my card.
Where's my wallet?
Oh, here.
What do you want me to do about this?
Nothing. He's already gotten to Miss Farrell.
Anita Farrell?
You see? But no harm was done, and we know that Miss Farrell's no longer new, so why don't we just forget it?
Well, what's the matter with her?
Nothing.
I don't suppose you'd let me see her.
No, Nick, no, not until I briefed you.
Hey, look, pal. If you would have stolen my money, I would have felt sorry for you for one fast minute. But when you steal my press card, you're stealing me.
You can punch him in the nose once you get him outside, Mr. Alexander. But in a hospital at this hour? Thank you very much.
Good night.
Am I free to go?
Get out of here.
No grudges. Listen to me, Nick. Your whole fat future as a playwright is right in my hands. All right, so you want me to drop to my knees and apologize for using your press card? I did it for you. How else could I get your manuscript to Miss Anita Farrell?
What manuscript?
Source of information, an idea for a play by Nick Alexander. Listen, I am going to produce it on Broadway, Nick. I intend to have a hit play on before I'm 25, and that gives me slightly less than 2 years. I've read a lot of plays, and I've listened to the infantile ideas of a lot of writers. But tonight in class, hearing Vladimir read your idea, I knew I'd found it. So I took Vladimir's copy, and I began to figure out how do I get it to Anita Farrell. I knew she was in the hospital because I have a friend who works in a doctor's office. And then I found your wallet. Look, can we go somewhere and talk about it over coffee?
I don't think so.
I gave her your manuscript and she read it.
What'd she say?
She said she'd like it to be the play in which she returns to Broadway.
I knew this guy was a phony, but he was taking me seriously as a playwright, something nobody else had ever done. He had actually talked to a star, Anita Farrell, about my play. But he sounded like Vladimir. He kept saying I should take a leave of absence, even quit. Money to live on? He had an angle on that, too.
Suppose Anita Farrell subsidizes you. I brought up that probability, and she didn't say no. I figure she gives you an advance of, say, $10,000. Well, that'll keep you in pencils and cigarettes for 6 months. And whatever she advances, you get it all. Good evening, Mr. Price. Enjoy the new play? I say hello to anybody connected with the theater, whether I know them or not, especially drama critics. So, either you get a leave of absence or you quit. The main thing is you have Anita's 10,000 whole American dollars. This is your chance, Nick. You want to be a lousy newspaper reporter all your life?
The one person on the paper who could really advise me was Conrad Price, our drama critic. But he resented any invasion of his private territory, the theater. Did I talk to him about it? How was it?
Tonight, the theater was made richer by the arrival of a flawless and insupportably funny play.
Are you going to use that in your review?
Naturally.
Wish it were my play.
I would like someday to meet a young reporter who has not written a play. I suppose it's about all this. The inky, slouch hat world of the newspaper? Well, it is, isn't it?
I haven't written a play.
Give this to Win Fanning for the next broadcast.
Here you are, Mr. Fanning.
Oh, for the 6 a.m. news?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Polly.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Win. Hello, Mark.
Good morning. Going home?
Yeah.
I hear somebody stole your press card last night. Is there any story in that?
No.
Don't look so surprised. You think I don't know what goes on around here when I'm not here? I have my sources.
Would Mark give me a leave of absence? Some chance. Walking home that morning, I thought that I must have written 100 stories in the bulletin about how a sudden stroke of fortune had changed a person's life. Could that ridiculous Frederick Brennan do it for me? If Anita Farrell would agree to star in my play, I'd really be on the way. I'd make the jump from the city room to Broadway. I'd be a successful playwright. Wait a minute. Lexington Hospital.
I can't believe you'd want to do it, Mr. Alexander.
Do what, Miss Farrell?
Don't get up, please. I can't believe you'd want to change the central character of your play, Henry.
Change him?
Yes, Frederick Brennan swore you would.
Change him how?
From a newspaper man to a newspaper woman, so I could play him.
Oh, I thought you meant major surgery.
Oh, please, don't use that disagreeable phrase. I just miss having to undergo it. No, I mean, it isn't as if your play is already written. You could take a week or two to adjust your thinking, to the slight sex differences, and then write it as if Henry'd been a woman all along.
I once asked Conrad Price, I said, what makes a star? He said, quality eggs. I said, what's quality eggs? He said, guts.
Thanks. Well, do we have a project?
You wouldn't consider playing Henry's girl?
Not for a moment.
Even so, Well, look, I ought to let you in on a big secret. This play might not get written for 2-3 years. I don't get many days off.
Mr. Brennan said you take a leave of absence. Your editor, Mark, what's his name?
Granger.
Granger. He's a very dear old friend of mine. Oh, we're terribly close. Our friendship started with my threatening to sue his paper for invasion of privacy.
I remember that.
I didn't mind his including me in his list of has-beens. Tell me, why do the papers always want to do those where are they now things? They're like coming attractions for the obituary column. Well, do we have a project?
Well, I might be able to change Henry to Henrietta, but changing Mark Granger to an understanding, big-hearted city editor...
Oh, let me talk with him. You go home and get some sleep. You look tired.
Oh, please don't get up.
Oh, I'm perfectly healthy, Mr. Alexander. I'm being given my freedom today. And a doctor's report card worthy to hang among my lesser trophies.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Get me Mr. Mark Granger at the Bulletin, please.
You write a news story in 6 minutes. Why should it take you 6 months to write a play?
You know, I would like to know who it was that said that there is more craftsmanship and more genius and more gestation involved in writing a play than there is in writing a news story about...
3 months?
I got invited to a party tonight. The kind of party I don't like because I never get invited to them. Do you know Chad Hamilton?
Oh, is he giving the party?
For Anita Farrell.
Oh.
She invited me herself personally. Do you know why? But what she doesn't know is that I can say no to her. An actress who hasn't made news for 10 years, I can say no to. No, it's young reporters who have to write plays. They're the ones I can't say no to.
Oh, good. Then it's all settled. And you're going to the party?
No, I'm not going. I like to be invited for myself, not for whom I know. 3 months.
Well, how about an extension in case I get stuck? You know, some writers get writer's block.
3 months. And let me see your first act when you got it finished. There's no point in taking the entire 3 months if you've got a lousy first act.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh, and incidentally, don't show it to Conrad Price. You want to know what a real writer's block is? You just tell him you're writing a play.
Good evening, Mr. Price.
Where are you going?
Chad Hamilton's party.
Someone going to commit a murder?
I'm not here as a reporter.
Are you implying that you were invited?
Yeah. Where are you going?
Chad Hamilton's party?
Is someone going to perform?
Anita, you're looking awfully young tonight.
Oh,